I like to envision her as one who had dark hair and beautiful eyes, which spoke of her love for people. I think she must have been a charismatic figure, one who had, at any given moment, a kitchen filled with neighbors enjoying her well-known hospitality. And while her stove was always going, good smells filling the air, we might see her too as an entertainer with a wonderful billowing laugh centered in her joy of life. She had to be a good storyteller. Mary's tales were famous around town, and in later years, I think that her son Jesus, who grew in wisdom and knowledge at home, would make great use of this talent, a talent which no doubt he learned from his mother. And so here is this young woman one morning, all alone in her kitchen at mid-morning. There's a pot of soup boiling on the fire as she prays over the ancient words of the Scriptures. And then, as she so often did, she poured out her heart to God, asking that God would use her during this particular day to be of service. And most importantly, that she would be open to anything that God would ask her to do. Now, in her heart, she, like all the other Jewish people, was longing for the Messiah. It was so deep in her tradition. It was in their prayers, and it could be found again and again in the Scriptures. And so this was all going on within her as she stirred the soup. And suddenly she was aware of a presence standing in her kitchen. Now, she wasn't deeply frightened, but she looked and she turned toward this presence, never taking her hand off the spoon that stirred her soup. Her presence was oddly comfortable until this presence, an angel dropped to one knee and said, "Hail, favored one, the Lord is with you." Favored one? She was unsure, and now a small fear crept into her heart. What was that? And the angel continued, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. Behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall name him Jesus." Her first reaction was unexpected. "Oh, please no," she whispers. What was this invitation? She had only wanted a simple life, to marry Joseph, go to the temple each year,